And now we move on to our next keynote. Our topic for keynote 4 is innovations in geospatial technology for shared mobility. And sharing the dais to give their views on this topic are Mr. VIJAY KUMAR, VP and CTO, ESRI. Mr. VIJAY KUMAR is the Vice President and Head Technology at ESRI India, the market leaders for GIS. With more than 25 years of association with geospatial industry and academia, Mr. VIJAY KUMAR has been instrumental in conceptualizing, designing, and implementing large geospatial programs across various industry sectors globally. He was functional head of Geospatial Technology Division at Tata Consultancy Services Limited, a corporate member of the Institute of Engineers India, life member of Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, member of IEEE. He has been contributing to the advisory activity for various institutes, including the IITs. Please welcome Mr. VIJAY KUMAR with a loud round of applause.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I think morning session was really great. And we learned a lot in the morning by different panels and different experts. So this afternoon topic, is a little different, but somehow it is creating a lot of impact in this segment as well. So my topic for today is spatial science for shared mobility. How many people understand or have heard about spatial science? How many people in the audience? Okay, spatial science. Okay. So what is? I'll give a little, background about it. I'm Vijay from ESRI, as already been told. So ESRI is a company based out in California, Redlands, and we build, as you see here, most powerful mapping and spatial analytics software, the platform in the world. So very large number of, people are using this software technology or this spatial science, in a way, to get benefits of, all spatial algorithm. What happens? You have lots of data. When, let's say, in a mobility industry also, you have lots of data spread across the country or globe or different cities and towns, right? With different patterns, different attributes, different timing, or different, feedback, different, a variety of data you get. So what happens? This technology helps in analyzing those data, doing data mining, in terms of spatial aspects. Spatial means, linked to, the spread, the geography, the links, the connectivity, the distance, right? All that. And then, analyze those data sets and gives you, relevant outcomes so that, you can decide, you can take right decisions, business decisions around the data sets. So that's a spatial science. So we are in fact present in more than, so many countries, if you see. And typically, this technology is being used by, various segments. For example, urban segments, smart cities, if you see in the country, is a big actually user of this technology, spatial science. Utilities and telecom is a big segment who is using this technology in a big way. For example, every utilities or every telecom, let's say Jio or Airtel, all of them have mapped, each and every consumer, each and every, subscriber, each and every asset on the ground. Every asset, is mapped. So they have the entire, repository intelligence. Where is my customer? Where is my asset? Where is my competition assets? All this data is actually clubbed in the platform. And then, they analyze, they have lots of analysis around that for business decisions, for operation efficiency, for customer satisfaction, lots of parameters, in fact. So we are in India present in many cities, serving many customers in India. Primarily, 70% government segment, but we have presence in segments like automotive and commercial segments and banking, BFSI. All these segments, this technology is being used now by almost all the segments. I'll touch upon few use cases which will make the things more easier for you to appreciate. So I was just looking at this picture yesterday. I found this very interesting to me. A new thing for me, in fact. And this picture is comparing space each mode of transportation needs for 200 people, right? This is a very fundamental picture, although. So if you see, I mean, the shared mobility, how shared mobility is actually creating impact, right? In terms of, utilization of space in the city, right? So it's a fundamental, need of the hour today. I don't feel we can really avoid this for long, and this is the only way to go ahead, I think, in most of the urban areas and, towns and cities. So what are the challenges? I learned in the morning, actually, speakers talking about various challenges. For example, I kept this, from my understanding, I collected this. Primarily road network, vehicle congestions, land requirement for parking, I think is also a big challenge for all of us. EV charging infrastructure, I think morning people were talking about it, panelists were talking about it, that how to really, optimize, how to really cite where to locate EV infrastructure, EV charging stations, how to really, find out those things, how to optimize those things. This is a big problem, I believe, for this industry. Vehicle emissions and driving pattern also is a big, point discussed in the morning. How we take the driver welfare, driver patterns and behaviors, all those aspects were discussed in the morning. I was also, reading this analysis, which were done by Ola some time back. So what was done actually, lots of parameters were, looked at, right, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of driver pattern, behavior, in terms of, vehicle emissions, in terms of, passengers availability, demography, type of, people available, different, parameters have looked on. And what I also interpret from this is that, all these parameters actually correlate to geography somewhere, right? I mean, these parameters actually touch upon some locations and geography. That's why, I thought, let me just figure out that how spatial science, can help actually shared mobility also as a concept. And I'm sure most of the shared mobility, providers, aggregators, they've started using this platform in a big way. That's why we see lots of advancement in this area. So as I mentioned, spatial analytics and patterns. So a lot of business intelligence comes out of that. And, you use different technology, of course, machine learning or many other technology. But the idea is that you have this data collected, right? Every trip, every consumer, every vehicle, all this is mapped and you're taking real time. So there's a lot of data, in fact. So when you analyze this data in a spatial aspect, it gives a lot of intelligence to decide. So this is a significant area which is adding a lot of value these days. And site selection is space planning. I think we talked about it. Especially in this area, where you need to have those stations, where you need to have your vehicles parked or more vehicles, which area you need more vehicles, which area you need less vehicles depending on time. So all these are actually important, and geography actually helps us in that, this analysis. Then route optimization, I think all of us are aware that this is very prime important aspect now these days. We use a lot of, whenever we travel from one point to other point, this is a key important aspect, or requirement to us. So this is also important in this area, in this domain. Now, IoT real-time data, every vehicle, every instance, right? A lot of data is being collected, in fact, in the platform, which help us in deciding, in the right things in terms of security, applications, predictive maintenance, or driving patterns and operation efficiency. So this is also becoming very, very important, in this area. So as we go, very, very cost-effective in the market, optimize our cost, be competitive in the segment, it's important for us to keep this data, analyze this data very well, and take right decisions so that we can optimize our cost. So I think, this science makes really a great difference in, coming time to this industry, to be competitive, to stay competitive, and to be, consumer-friendly. Then one of the other area is autonomous vehicle, what we, talked. So typically, you have heard about HD maps, high-definition maps. So what happens when you want to go with an autonomous vehicle? You need to have very, very accurate maps to the tune of 5 centimeters accurate. You need to know where is the footpath, where is the light, where is the roadside, what is the curvature, everything you need to know actually. Then only autonomous vehicle will be successful. So it's a new area which is, and many people are creating a lot of high-definition maps in the world, right, which will be used for autonomous vehicle in a big way. So that is also part of actually a special topic. I just thought to bring one more example here, regarding shared mobility requirement. We did a couple of studies in different parts of the world, and this was one of the study where we trying to find out the patterns how various demographic pattern, how various, consumer behavior pattern, various patterns are affecting actually, and which will help, in fact, taking right decisions, business decisions, where to operate, how to operate, what time, in volume, various aspects, are coming out from this. So what happens, spatial science or geospatial platform gives you that capability, that is a platform on cloud available. You put your data sets, and then you analyze various patterns so that you can take the right decisions in the business or in the operation aspects. Then you actually add a lot of demographic data, you add a lot of road network data, you add a lot of other data sets, and you do analytics around that. So analyze the shared mobility, relationships, patterns, anomalies, spatial trends, and what is happening, these days, big data analytics is actually becoming integrated with spatial science. So you have lots of data, and then you're analyzing from spatial aspects and taking the right decisions. So one more example, one more study we did actually around New York taxi shared mobility analysis, where we primarily collected around 7,000, 7,000 taxis data for 1 hour for different trips in New York for one area, a small area. And, origin destination data was collected, and, various routes and clusters were formed, using these tools and technology, which typically, then we had, computed shared mobility potentials using various patterns and various algorithms. So what happens in this science that you use a lot of statistics and club that with spatial, algorithm and science to get the outcome, expected outcomes. And then what happens then, you do a lot of hotspot, analytics to take the right decisions and, find out the right things, which are the hotspots, which are not hotspots. And then, what happened that with the small study we found that, typically 7,000, individual taxi trips can be replaced with just 500 shared taxis, right, efficiently with certain, conditions. So I think this is an area which is really, accepted and evolving very fast. And feel free to go to these sites. This platform is available freely, on site, on cloud. You can see various reports of these studies and what has been done in these aspects. Or I can share with you, subsequently. This is one example, what is happening that, level of quality of service is also important. And you need to operate, you need to see, for example, for operator, for aggregator, for government, you need to really look at spatial aspects and see what is happening around. So you can create, easily your organization dashboards very fast using all the data sets with different permutation combinations. This is just one example, which will give you typically, integrate live traffic situation, integrate other parameters, and analyze and decide. This is one of the initiative. Another initiative, Vision Zero, was done with in partnership with the government, where what is happening. The idea was to collect a lot of data around our pilot site and ensure that can we have zero accident kind of zones or achieve that vision. For that, the first requirement was to capture a lot of data around that area in terms of geography, in terms of road network, in terms of vehicles, in terms of cameras and various sensors, and then a lot of analysis was done behind that. So idea was to see what is required, live real-time information is required, which will help actually in achieving or minimizing these incidents. This was an example actually in part of the US. So this was all I had, from spatial science today. And any question, I will be happy to take that question. Thank you so much.